All right, Kev, I'm gonna have to try.
I can hear you now. I can hear you.
Yeah,
Can,
but I can only hear it through the. I want to do it through the Yeti. Is this coming through the Yeti? Hold on. What about
yes.
that? All right, amazing. Hey, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining
Is,
us.
is
Yeah,
mine going on? You may sound good, but I want to sound good too. Hold on a sec.
you sound. Yeah, you sound, as we say in London. Um, hello to everyone watching. Andrew Burford, oi oi. What you got on there? Look, so you see what I've got here, Kev. I've got the camera here.
Hmm.
So that people are watching the two of us over here. It's like some sort of Inception movie, like the
Yeah.
video within a video. Um, so, Kevin, thanks for joining us. Have you got your? Yes, Andrew Burford. Everyone is looking at you now. That's good stuff. Kev, have you got your live Instagram going?
No, should I?
No. Hey, look, you can do what you want. It's your life, mate. Don't let me tell you what to
Um,
do.
but then, yes. So I haven't, but should I? Okay,
No,
I will
hey,
do
do
then.
what you want. Do
I
I'll get the questions on this side anyway. So Kevin,
you'll stick to you. Yeah,
why don't
Douglas.
we start by just talking a little bit about uh, what Dublin is like currently? Give us a little lowdown of what's happening that side of the world.
So, I mean, if it was any other time, I'd say, well, it's nice and spring
Whoa, 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 whoa!
along, but the way it is at me is what?
No, you just
What
went
happened?
like a dialect for a second there, but you're good now.
Yeah. So the way it is at the moment is well, I can only speak for myself. I am pretty much on lockdown. I only leave the house to go to the supermarket and to go to the pharmacy. I haven't met anyone apart from my girlfriend I live with, and obviously our dog. I don't meet anyone. Not my family, mum, dad, who just live down the road, or anyone. And I'm pretty strict about that because I mean, look at America, look at UK, look at Ireland, and look at the leaders. You got Trump, Boris, and our leader Leo, and his speech. I don't know if you've seen it on St. Patrick's Day.
No.
Mate, it was powerful. My God, like it would bring a tear to your eye. And he actually quoted Churchill, where he said, "Never have so many
Oh,
done
so much
so
or so many.
for so." Oh, sorry, yeah, never so few done so much for so many.
Mm-hmm.
And mate, it was pretty moving. And he's a doctor. He studied medicine in Trinity,
Mm-hmm.
so he knows what the potential of this is. I'm really shocked by the UK's response to this. How up until now, I mean, they're starting to, but I think it's because Boris is making it a little bit. He's being quite nice about it. He's kind of suggesting that people take certain actions,
Mm-hmm.
whereas our leader is almost he's begging us to do it. And when it comes from an educated man, which both of them are, but you got to take it seriously. Yeah, so it's crazy here, mate. I went into the supermarket the other day, and on the ground they have tape that has markings every 2 meters, so you can't be more than 2 meters next to anyone.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, and I went to the chemist today, or the pharmacy, some people call it, and they had plastic shields up in front of the counter,
Mm.
and it's been taken very seriously here.
Maybe that's something we should all be employing. Like maybe we should all get those right style shields or perspex to talk. And then we can go see people, but you could just have that up at all times, you know?
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, people say like don't panic, and definitely don't panic and don't worry. There's no point in doing either of those. But it concerns me how like people are making light of it, But you can't. I mean, people are going to do what they're going to do. But the problem is, we're not the ones at danger here. Hopefully,
mm,
because we're young. Again, I'm no expert on this. I'm just giving my opinion. But so we're not the ones that are danger. But the problem is, we could meet someone, and eventually they could succumb to the disease because their immune system is already compromised. They're
yeah.
old or
Now,
they're already ill.
Now that is interesting. Kev, I went to the supermarket this morning. It's probably the same there. I don't know, but there's a queue outside of
Mm.
Sainsbury's starting at about 7:15, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, and then pretty much going on. Well, once it opens at 8, like all toilet paper is sold at 1 minute past 8.
Hmm.
Produce is there for a while, probably for the next 2 hours, but we don't have the markings on the ground. And all I was thinking was, maybe to defend Boris a little bit here, if the whole point is to stop people interacting, stopping people going to work isn't the answer. Because now people are just interacting en masse at 7 o'clock in the morning instead, with a whole lot of people that maybe they shouldn't be, because everyone has to go get food. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm.
It seems like a knee-jerk reaction, and now we haven't really thought it through. Maybe the answer was make people work from home. They get some sort of food delivery service, because that's the most interaction I've had in one sitting in like 20 minutes. I've already probably outdone any good I'll do today from staying in. I interacted with more people today than I do on a normal day. When things are normal, I had less interaction. So this
Yeah,
is
but when you say interaction, do you mean like close proximity or
yeah,
speaking to?
because everyone's getting there at 8 a.m. So now instead of having people coming throughout the day to Sainsbury's, you've got probably 300 people there in one go. So you can't avoid touching people. You know, you're saying you have those barriers. The queue is
Mm.
all the way from the till to the back wall on every aisle. And that's just the people that are waiting to purchase. That's not even the people that are walking
Well,
around.
yeah, I think that what listen to, because I've been pretty much obsessed with this. Now the thing is, I listen to this constantly on my headphones going around my house, but I don't let my girlfriend who I live with know that I'm listening to this. 'Cause I don't. I feel like it's okay for you to educate yourself, but not to go on about to other people who maybe actually want to take their mind off it.
Mm,
So I don't want to cause unnecessary worry for the people I love. And I think that, I want to be strong and upbeat when others maybe can't. And so with my loved one and stuff, I don't really talk about this, but listen to Boris. What's really concerned me with him is how he's like, well, we'll fight this and we'll have it done by in 3 months. He's very flippant about it.
mm,
Like, and I mean, obviously, a politician's going to use the word war because it helps to
mm.
what's the word?
Bolster that feeling.
Yeah, bolster that feeling. Yeah, exactly. But how jovial he's been about it is not good, because I think then in the subconscious of people, maybe they think, oh, this is something we'll get rid of in a few months. But
Mm,
I think it's going to be. I don't know. I hope it's not. I'm wrong for the UK, but I think it's gonna be devastating for the UK. It's definitely gonna be bad for Ireland too. But I must say, I've been very proud the way Ireland have reacted to this. Um, and I'm actually wondering, what is the reason Italy's death toll has just surpassed China?
mm,
And I'm wondering what the reason for that is. Is it a cultural thing? Like in China, because I lived in South Korea for 2 years,
mhm.
and in Korea, if the government says do something, everyone does it.
Yeah.
They believe in a hierarchy.
Yeah. It's the beauty
And
of authoritarian states in those kind of circumstances, right?
exactly. But in Italy, supposedly the people were just like, "Oh, it's fine,"
Mm.
and they're very physical, very touchy in terms of how they greet each other. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Well,
That
I
people
think
don't.
sorry, mate, the other thing you're probably overlooking is the aging population in Italy is much higher.
Oh yeah, true.
They've got
Good point.
the thing is they're actually in so many ways much healthier, which means a lot of people live much longer. So you've got a much bigger cross section of people that are old, which is the demographic for what this illness takes.
But I would have thought that would be the case in China as well, since they have the one child policy.
Maybe, but they don't live as long. So what I'm saying is the people that are getting this are your elderly, right? Like the people
Yeah.
that are dying from this are the elderly.
Mm.
So they've got a much bigger portion of elderly people to choose from. Whereas in other countries, we don't have that demographic because they're dying of other things. So
Right.
it's the fact that they're a healthier nation for the elderly that there's lots of them now that are getting struck by this. Um,
Hmm.
but still, in terms of when you say devastating, how do you mean devastating for the UK?
Oh, for the UK.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how it's going to affect uh, what the experts are predicting. I mean, obviously you've got to be careful where you get your
Mm.
resources from. I mean, I'm not saying anything that no one doesn't know already, but we're experiencing, everyone's going to experience similar illness at the same time. So it's not like the flu where it comes at different stages. It's way worse than the flu, and everyone's going to experience. Loads of people are going to experience it at the same time. So it's going to spike up. They call it, trying to flatten the curve.
Mhm.
If you don't flatten the curve, it's going to overwhelm the NHS. They won't have enough ICU units um, to treat people. I mean, in Ireland now, in Dublin, I was speaking to my friend who's a doctor at the maternity hospital, and she was saying that they're turning all the surgeries into ICU units to get ready. They've
Yeah.
only got, I don't know the exact numbers, but they've only got like a few hundred ICU beds. And they're saying that at the current rate of infection and disease, people becoming very ill, there's going to be thousands of people for only hundreds of beds.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, you got to wonder where you got to never, figures can be taken with a
Mhm.
pinch of salt, but when you hear something enough time from enough credible sources, you have to listen.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's certainly an interesting time for all of that. Yeah, it's kind of like being in a movie, isn't it?
Doug, do you live in a palace, by the way? What the hell?
Why do you
Is
ask
that is
that?
that your is that your home?
Yes,
What?
but I have
Who else lives
mirrors.
there?
Why?
Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen.
Look,
Mate,
I'll have you
I,
know,
I haven't seen a mirror like that since the Game of Thrones.
mate, those are called window mirrors. I sourced those. It took me a long time to source those. The one in the middle is from Laura Ashley. You can't see, but on the other side is the mirror image of this. So we got two of these
Oh, on the
smaller ones, like two small ones abreast this big one. I actually got a question on Instagram yesterday about where I got them because someone wanted to buy them.
when you say we, who are you referring to?
I don't know. I think that is the byproduct
You
of
mean
living
you?
alone for a long time. Is it you just say we all the time?
Okay.
I'm just so lonely. This is not helping. All
You
right.
look in the mirror and
You're like,
we don't
hey,
need anyone else, do
and then
we?
even he goes away. I'm like, oh, my reflection's fucking off. He's too scared of me. Um, let me tell you, if you think that this disease has crushed the business markets, let me tell you what it's done to the single market. All right. Being a single person, that market has truly crashed. Never have we
Yeah.
seen, this is the Great Depression of our single market time. I
Mhm.
would be interested to see if dating apps have increased in activity, even though people are seeing less of each other. I don't know.
Well, I mean, social distancing is going to take away uh, some things. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
you've got a video. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the kids are doing these days.
Yeah, look, I imagine it'll be so interesting. You know how, and I wish I'd got my facts right ahead of me, but it was at New York. New York had like a famous power outing over a
Mm.
period, and 9 months to those days, there was a huge surge in kids. You know,
Yeah.
I wonder what kind of trends we're going to see in
Mhm.
the future related to this that they were unforeseen, which is always the case.
Yeah.
Something happens, and like same way technology comes out, and we assume we're going to use it one way, and then we use another. Like I'm sure this was not the original design of a laptop. No one
Yeah.
made a laptop and went, "This would be great for two guys to talk to each other from across the world." No one thought that. So
Yeah. Yeah. I think that the same, like there's going to be well, I was going to say COVID babies. That doesn't sound very cute, does it? But like
that sounds
you have
horrendous.
horrendous. You had the blackout babies. There,
Yeah.
but I mean, I think that all this worry is not good for. Couldn't be good for libido. Not talking personally, obviously. But I must say, sunlight is supposed to be very good for your testosterone, like vitamin D. And I haven't been getting outside much, so I need to. We need to kind of
Yeah,
get
it's
on that.
weirdly, I've been getting out. It's weird. You kind of walk, but when you see someone, you look at them suspiciously. You know what I mean? It is so
Mhm.
weird what's going on.
Oh, here we cross the road.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you just see them
That's
coming, you're like, whoa, 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 whoa.
that's standard now here.
That is so bizarre. I again, would or should me and you get into business setting up love parties for the end of this. You know, no technology love parties. You have to hug everyone in the room. Like,
Yeah. Well, it's interesting how we're all getting a crash course now in technology over the last week,
oh my
aren't we? I
God.
mean, there's people, and I've uncovered things in the last week that I never had a chance to before, because you get so caught up in your day to day.
Mm.
Like, I just discovered this streaming platform called Ecamm Live, and the cam is with two M's.
Mm-hmm.
Mate, phenomenal. I mean, what this technology can do at a very reasonable rate
Oh,
is
cool.
unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And so, although, Doug, I have all this worry that I can't. I mean, I'm due to become a father.
Mhm.
And this is like, so I'm worried about that. Will the child have grandparents in 6 months' time? you know, there's so much to worry about. But putting all that to one side, um, it's kind of exciting in a way to see that the how humans can support each other, which is kind of cool. Like, people have been like real supportive of everyone. I think that shows the good side of people, and all of that stuff that's happens online, like the people being offended, and people acting like, what are they called,
And snowflakes.
snowflakes.
Hmm.
I mean, that's all going away now. It takes a crisis. I remember thinking to myself, I was like, listen, it's going to take the aliens to invade
That's what
until
I
we're like,
thought.
look, that word didn't annoy me. We got to worry about this Martian coming.
Yeah.
Now it's a case of this alien is coming basically
Yeah. It's like, and
inside of us. And
it's like this alien it kind of is alienish, right? It's this little virus that's now made us go, we got bigger things to worry about than just, than whether that word was the correct word to say today. You know?
exactly, yeah. And but that it's kind of exciting the way we're living through. And again, I'm the worry stuff to one side. We need to take something positive out of this. The way we're living through something, Doug, that was going to be talked about for generations. And
I keep
uh,
saying this is 100% a Netflix documentary in 20 years time.
yeah, and it's going to change. I mean, it's already changing society. I've never done so many video calls in my life. And today, for example, I had to go to the vet with my dog. He was getting his stitches. He's getting his stitches out because had an operation. And instead of going there, I just sent them a picture of his stitches, and they sent me an email back saying, "Yeah, he's fine. You can now take the thing off his head, the
Cone.
Elizabethan
Yeah. Yeah.
collar." Yeah. So
Elizabethan collar. Is that what it's called?
it's called an Elizabethan collar because it's
Ah,
like, Queen Elizabeth.
yeah.
It just shows you that so much things can be done now online instead of going in person. And it's exciting for me because I love technology. I think that technology can be great and give us a lot of freedom. But no, not everyone feels that way. But
Yeah.
what do you
I was going to say it's probably quite a scary time for some studio owners that are a little bit behind the curve with that. And I'd say that probably all of us were pretty much behind the curve. Like you said, there's so many different functions of technology. There's these different companies that all of us have kind of ignored because it's not that it's not convenient. It's just that the learning process takes a while, as always. And we never want to go through it. Like changing your home insurance. You're like, I'll do that next time. Same kind of thing. It's available to us, but we haven't had to kick up the ass we needed to do this, and now we do, which is amazing because now we have this option. We're like, oh my god, so here are these options. What sticks around will be interesting, but I imagine, yeah, for studio owners that are now closing their doors physically, that are maybe of a generation that aren't on top of things in terms of media, now you're like, whoa, what do we do?
Doug, I am getting zero income now. So what would you say if someone was to say to you that doing free classes on YouTube is a good idea or a bad idea? What are your thoughts about doing free content? How, and then trying to monetize that?
So my thing, which I want to make very well known, I don't know why the health and fitness industry, above all others, has been held to the standard where we're apparently seen as, maybe we're not, but there's certain this feeling that we're seen as what is the word? Exploiting people's position by offering classes online that you have to pay for. Whereas every other business is
Mm.
is not held to that. Like I was saying, I still pay for my coffee when I go up the road. I still have to pay for my food when I go to Sainsbury's, even though I'm not making income. So why is it that we shouldn't be able to charge? Not that we can't. My feeling on free
Ah.
content, I think you should use free content. Thing is, on YouTube, unless you're getting, especially now, back in the day, if you got a couple of thousand views, you could probably make some money. Now you need to get the price point so much higher. You need to get like hundreds of thousands, and that's not
Mm.
likely to happen. Not when you start. You rack up the hundred of thousands when you've been doing it a couple of years, because people are going through your backlog as quickly as they're going through your new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I would use, it's a great way to showcase you as a teacher. It's a great way for you to show people what you have to offer, reach a new audience. I would say a combination of the two is what I'm planning on doing. We'll see how well it works. But in my head, the idea is that you have this free content, people can see it, they can see enough free content that they can go, okay, I like this teacher. This teacher's got something to offer. And then have a product on the side that you can sell, some sort of online course or online videos. There's also options like we're talking about another teacher yesterday who's doing donations. But it's
Mm.
a scary time. Like, it's exciting. Let's see what happens. But you want to be prepared, right? You need to know that there's a way you can still make money and you're still providing a service. And it's a service that's heavily needed at the moment. So why wouldn't you then provide that service? Unless
Mm.
you stand against everything that capitalism is, which fair enough if you do, unless that's the case, there should be no problem with health and fitness professionals selling product.
Mm.
1 second, I think I've lost you for a second. There you go. You're back.
I wonder how much people. Yeah,
You're
I
back now.
wonder how much people care about the quality of the audio and the visual experience. I mean, say anyone can turn on their phone and stream. We can all do that, and that's a great place to start. But if you want to monetize, I don't see how people would give you money for something that's required very little effort. I think that I think is, Doug. I actually think that this is not going to be a permanent thing. But the next time this type of thing happens, it's so important to diversify your income, isn't it? I mean,
Mm,
if now you're in a situation like me and a lot of others where we're getting zero and we've got mortgages to pay and all that. But if you have something coming in monthly, even if it's a small amount, it makes a difference. I mean, as well, I don't, apart from the money side, I actually like the idea of creating something, creating a platform. That's what my plan is, to create
mhm.
a platform where you pay a little bit a month, maybe for the podcast, for a class, even for teacher training, maybe, and then you can just watch stuff on demand. And it may sound, may seem like I might be jumping the gun a little bit and being a bit deluded, but I think that it's possible to do that. And from what I've heard from other teachers, there seems to be a lot of demand for this, for online, for live streamed classes.
Mhm.
And I've heard people say that it's like being you can actually feel like you're in the room with people because it's so interactive.
Mm. Yeah, I think that's the tough thing we're trying to get our head around. Just a quick check-in with the people online. Lisa Gallagher, our friend, uh,
Yeah.
who was saying hello, and also to check out Sherry Turkle, Connected But Alone. It's a TED Talk, apparently very relevant to how we use technology and how it can overwhelm us. So that's something maybe teachers want to check out. Sherry Turkle is the name of that.
Turkle. How do you spell Turkle?
Turkle.
Okay.
So
Thanks, Lisa.
we'll see that. Thanks, Lisa. And then another good friend of mine, Yoga Squirrel. She's saying how we are affected heavily by this because most of us are on 0-hour contracts, like you're saying. So it's not a case of you get put on a retainer; they just cut you, and the
Mm.
amount of money put in. This would be my counter to what you said, saying that would people be willing to pay for something that doesn't take a lot of effort from you? Maybe it doesn't take much effort to show what you're doing, but you're not showing what you're doing right now. You're showing everything you've learned up till this point in your experience being a teacher. So it's
Yeah,
not a
true.
case, it's not a case of, I don't think that's how money works. People pay Patreon to listen to Jordan Peterson. He has his laptop just like this, talking to him. People aren't paying because he's putting together a beautiful product.
Mm.
They are paying for his beautiful mind, you know.
But I wonder if like yoga and this and such services will become more of a luxury, or I mean, in difficult times for the next, say, couple of months, are people going to think, well, the one thing I can afford to cut is my yoga classes? I don't
Mm.
know. Or is it a case of, in the recession, for example, actually certain luxuries go up as opposed to think they're going to go down. So I don't know, man. I do know. I'm not, to be honest, I'm not panicked really too much, even though, because I mean, I believe that I can come out of this and in some way, and it's going to give me an opportunity to address projects that I've just put on the back burner for so long. And I like learning the creative process. Um, and yeah, it's. I think it's actually quite exciting. But
Yeah, I can't help
so
feel that way. I mean, it might get less exciting when we're struggling to make ends meet, you know. But
yeah,
right now it is. We're trying to work it all out. We don't know how long it's going to last, I guess, is the other thing. But I think in general, people find a way, you know, uh,
mm,
and things, there may be adjustment period, but people then find what they can do. And the kind of the advantage is everyone's in the same boat, right? Like
yes, true.
a lot, this is not just affecting the UK or Ireland, it's affecting the world. So I feel like people are
Mm,
pretty sympathetic in terms of things being paid for, mortgages, or, you know, letting people ride on a few payments. So
yeah.
that's all good and well to have that kind of help. But yeah, when it comes to the essentials, I mean, I told you about Sainsbury's. I'm eating diets that I've never eaten in years because I'm like, what's left here? I've started eating. I've got their Alpen. I haven't had Alpen in about 10 years,
Ah,
as,
old school.
as well as what are the other ones? Chocolate shreddies, maybe. Never had those. You know what I mean? Like that's what's left. I don't. Beggars can't be choosers.
I
I got to
know,
take
mate.
what I
My
can.
diet, it's actually quite hard motivate yourself um, to eat as well or move as well as you used to, because when you're indoors a lot, I don't know. There's something. It's nice to go to a class as opposed to doing it all. Not even have the option to go out.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, the diet is slipping a little bit. We've bought loads of tinned goods from the supermarket. Like we've gone proper blitz style, as in
Mm.
rationing. We've bought loads of stuff. We were googling the other day products with foods with the longest shelf life that have most nutrition, and we bought we bought
Hit
loads of
us.
them.
Don't leave us hanging.
Kidney beans is number one. So go with your kidney beans. We had chili con carne yesterday with kidney beans. And you've got, wow, what's is good? Nuts are always good for obvious reasons because they keep. And I can't remember the other ones, but
Well,
kidney
that's
beans.
brilliant. So I've got kidney beans and nuts. Brilliant. Thanks, mate. You're the best.
Yeah,
I can't
enjoy.
wait.
Bon
I can't wait
appetit.
for dinner. It's gonna be amazing. I'll just wash down my kidney beans with some nuts then, shall I? Unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, again, things like that will become of interest to everyone, right? But I
Hmm.
get you with the workouts. Like, I like going to a class. I'm very much an extroverted person. I want to be around people. But, you know, this option, you're like, and also I train harder with people around me. I go into
Yeah.
full herd mentality, you know? Um,
Mm.
so I don't know. I think our
Yeah.
CrossFit gym's still open at the moment, but we'll see. Also, like throwing some tin around is good too. Like I like body weight stuff. But I like to mix it up. Like you know, I want
Mm.
options. You've got that great little outdoor or workout area close to your
Oh
house.
yeah, that's deserted. I mean, I was there the other day just walking past it, and the guy that, this old man that always works out there, he just comes straight over to me, right in my face. He's like, "How's it going?" I had to take a few steps back. I says, "Some people just don't. They've just said, they're like, nah, what did the government know?" It's crazy that some people just get, and there was people in the pubs up until they closed them,
Mhm.
smoking away and just. But yeah, I'm paranoid about touching things. You see, especially metal. Supposedly the virus stays on metal longer than on the other surface. So and
Is
those
that right?
latex gloves don't work.
No,
Those,
there's a whole lot, and those masks. Unless you get the N95.
mm,
I did my
mm.
research. I've got an N95 on its way right now.
Have
To,
you?
Yeah, just in case. Well, because I got these yoga retreats, right? And I don't know what the
Mm.
case is. Sri Lanka is closed until the end of the month. What it'll
Oh,
be
you're still going on retreat then?
well, let's see. Like it's still in place. Sri Lanka is pretty good. Botswana, my mom was telling me, has had 0 cases, but they still
Hmm.
closed the schools anyway. So I don't know what like the rhyme
What's
or
the temperature in Botswana?
hot, like
Yeah,
hot as balls is kind of the official.
that's hot. It can't survive above 27 degrees supposedly Celsius.
Is that right? Now you see,
Supposedly, yeah.
this could be a great marketing tool for retreats. Like I just find all the countries next to the equator that are 27 degrees and above, and we're like, come join me in paradise. You know,
Yeah.
let's start a new world of no corona. We'll make new
Oh, man.
babies, corona babies.
But yeah, the so yeah, it can't supposedly it can't survive in really hot temperatures. But also, what were we saying before that about the masks? Yeah, what about the stunt industry? That must be
Oh no, mate. I worked last week on Batman. Uh,
all right. Go on about it. I'm joking.
but I was in for a day, right? And all the guys there were like, yeah, no, it's fine. Everything's fine. You know, we're going to Liverpool this afternoon, and you know, like it's so. And then it was like, okay. And then the minute I got into my car at the end of the day, it was like, the world's cancelled. Everything is cancelled. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm on like a group WhatsApp with a lot of stunt guys, and they're like, oh, I was on Little Mermaid, and now that's cancelled. They're like, okay, what's going on Jurassic? Let's try it on Jurassic. Jurassic cancelled. You know, we're not going to Malta
Mm.
anymore. So
Mhm.
yeah, it was. It's a weird time like that. Like
You
productions.
see Bill Gates TED talk about what happened 4 years ago, and he
Yeah.
said the next danger we're not ready for, and it's
One second. One second. Sorry, mate. Hold on. Hold on.
describing
Hold on.
pretty much exactly. Yeah.
Sorry, just because every now and then it just cuts out. Uh,
Okay.
say again. Bill Gates has this.
Yeah, Bill Gates TED talk predicts almost exactly what is happening now. He said the next thing that's going to wipe us out looks like this, and it was a picture of a coronavirus with the crowns coming out of it. And he said it's going to, and we're not ready for it because it's going to overwhelm the healthcare, and we don't. It was, mate, it's frightening how well he predicted it. But and he says it's going to happen more and more because obviously we're getting more populated. We need more food.
Mm.
Food is not being stored like it should be. Animals not being treated like they should be. So yeah, it's going to happen more in the future, man.
Well, I
But
mean, will this change what governments spend on this research? You know, I was actually listening to an unrelated podcast, which was with Randall Carlson and Graham Hancock with Joe
mm,
Rogan, and
mm,
they were making the point that the U.S. government spends an inordinate amount of money on defense and military
mm,
stuff, and then they wanted to show relative to that what they spend on NASA. Do you know what the difference is?
mm.
NASA gets the equivalent of one helicopter a year money.
Wow.
One helicopter. So
Hmm.
God knows what they're spending on this kind of stuff. Like that's NASA.
Mm,
I can't imagine this is much more that they're spending
mm,
on like checking and research on this product because there's no kind of financial benefit. But if there was a vaccine now, making
hmm.
sheets of that.
Yeah.
So I don't know,
What
man.
do you think? What do you think about even going so far as to launching your own yoga glow or your own aloe moves?
Well, again, like I was explaining to you, it's possible. Probably now that they've got the thing is, it's hard, right? What is your USP? I guess is the question. You know,
Yeah.
or do you need a USP, or do you just need a select amount of people that like to practice with you? But then, if people can buy something like Yoga Glow, where there's 20 teachers, why would they use
Mm,
your one where there's one? I don't know. Or do you change it so it's not a subscription and you just pay per class? You know, so
mm.
I
Offer
don't.
streaming could be your USP. Like, like what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, as of next week, is start doing like a daily stream, essentially, almost like a kind of breakfast show. So every day at 8 a.m., I do like a half an hour and this is my idea. Now, maybe no one's going to, the thing is, you're
Right.
like, any questions? Oh, no one's listening. but that can happen. But it's, I like the idea that it's instant feedback, and some people know, okay, every day at this time, like there's a guy called, what's it called? I think it's called the On Fire podcast. He does a podcast every day. Every day he does a podcast. So like, imagine the kind of connections you'll make with people if you're talking to them every day, and it's a live stream as well.
But what,
I mean,
it's the
we don't
same
wanna
guest he has every day, or
no, it's just him.
just him? Okay.
Just
Oh, you
him.
mean the connection the viewers make with that person?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, now he's live streaming, and like I said, I don't want to get too carried away with this because it may be in a couple of months where this is stuff that is not going to make you any money, you know.
Like you said, it's getting set up now, though, right?
Yeah, true. And I mean, I enjoy doing it, but to be honest with you, mate, like this whole thing, streaming, podcasting, this is my hobby. This is what I do for fun. Like, I don't think I don't really have any other hobbies. This and yoga and whatever else, but like, this is like me kind of geeking out. And so I don't see it like, oh damn, and now I have to start doing this stream business. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm excited to learn. But yeah, actually, one studio I'm working for at the moment, they are paying us to do stream classes. So the same way they pay us to do a regular class. So
I would
maybe if
imagine
that works.
I would imagine that becomes more and more commonplace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think studios will then start to use the space because remember, they've got bills too, you know? They've got rental spaces they need to keep up. So,
and also when you use something like Zoom, I think you can get 100 people. So you could have 100 people in your class.
yeah,
So,
that's, but I don't know what the benefit is
more
of,
members to go.
I don't know what the benefit is of having 100 people, right? Because I'm struggling to understand the advantage of the streaming as a teacher. You know, because are you going to look at the class? Are you going to like adjust people?
Yes.
You know, at 100 people, probably not.
It's more so at the beginning and at the end, you could do a little Q&A, for example.
Agreed.
But,
mate, you carry on talking. I just need to plug in my phone. So,
carry on talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell us something interesting.
Tell us something interesting. Well, what's interesting? Doug, you'd put me on the spot here, man. Well, I wish I had a house like Doug's, I'll tell you that. Well, everything I own is from IKEA. But which in a way, when you've got a dog that chews everything, that can be handy because if you don't like something, you just throw it away.
Yeah, this is very good
but
too.
When you have window mirrors, whatever the hell they are.
I'll tell you what else I got. I got a white sofa. Let me tell you.
That's outrageous.
That is outrageous. Let me tell you, having people over that eat chocolate like maniacs, not ideal, man. Not ideal.
How is this? I don't know if this is interesting listening for your listeners, but how is this not creating an echo? If you can hear me and my voice is now going through your mic as well, is it not going to create an echo in post-production?
It didn't yesterday. Oh, because I've got this turned on to, actually, I could change that, I guess. I could change it just to I've got it on just, I've got it just on the front mic. So it's very directional, these Yetis.
Oh, is it?
You know, the other cool thing about this is, mate, is that it flips the video to each one of us each time we talk.
Oh, wow. So right now the video, I'm on the big screen.
And now it's me.
Oh, that's really cool. Why
is it doing that for me? No, that'll be when I download the video afterwards because it records it as a video. Mate, this is the way for like YouTube videos. So we could do like an acapella piece and it would like flip between us all the time.
But what you're saying right now is as you're talking, it's not doing that, but in post-production it will.
Yes, correct.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's cool.
Is it? Oh. I mean, this is almost as good as doing it in person, but
I prefer person. Close. It is pretty good though. Like every now and then I've lost you a little bit. You've turned into like a dialect. But other than that, it's sound, you know, it's pretty cool. But yeah, back to the idea with the streaming class, 100 people, is it better to like do privates?
What, online?
Privates, yeah, that makes more sense, right?
Like Skype privates, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be. I think that's definitely that would be needed. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because as you said, you can't adjust anyone, you can't interact with anyone
Yeah,
really in
and there's too
this.
many people. Like you can kind of have a gaze over the class, but you can't. I wondered if the answer was to go. This is going to sound mental as I say it, but get yourself infected, go to the quarantine, and just do yoga classes there because in quarantine you're all in it together already. Do you know what I mean? Like we have two options here: one, healthy and lonely; two, sick with friends. So potato,
Uh,
potato. You know.
I'll stick with being how even how.
Mate, I think I've already got it. I'll be honest. I think I've probably already got it.
You got it. What
I
makes you
think,
say that?
well, because I felt a bit fluey, um, and that's like a while back. And
Hmm.
I just think there's no avoiding it. We're gonna get it. Um,
No, there isn't any avoiding it. It seems they're
yeah.
saying that 90% of people will get it, but it's to delay getting it and to delay
Well, I
giving
think
it
it's
to
only
other people.
delayed getting it if you're gonna be the one that goes to hospital.
Yeah, but I'm saying like delay you now giving it. If you think you have
Yes.
it,
Yeah.
delay
Yeah. Yeah.
giving it to other people. Like I've had a cough on and off for the last 3 weeks, but the cough came after I spent 6 hours doing a teacher training where it was a lot of people and I was kind of a guest teacher, so I had to really like I was a bit nervous and I remember coming home and I lost my voice. But 3 weeks now I've had a cough that's kind of on and off since then, so I have symptoms because it's either a fever or it's a cough. Like, I think 80% of people get the fever, but then 20% get coughs. It's not both. You could just
Yeah.
have a cough, and that could be a symptom, a continuous cough. So I may have it too, but
This is what I'm saying. It's weird. It also makes you so
touch wood, I
it
don't.
makes you so paranoid that
Mm.
you have it. Any symptom of anything, you're like, I've got it. But yeah, it's interesting you saying you felt like you had that cough because you were a bit stressed out, lacking sleep. It's all those things that really put me at risk. I know when I work on stunts, when we do night shoots, my immune system takes a smashing, you know.
Mm.
So really, this time's been great just to focus as best I can on diet, which is not really an option, or because you're at the mercy of what's there, you know.
Yeah.
But today was good. Lots of fresh produce today. But then
Mm.
also to focus on getting a good night routine. I'm having loads of baths. Like that's a positive. Loads of baths.
Yeah.
Um,
Your bath Instagram is it's a bit sexy, isn't it?
it's a little bit sexy.
Huh,
Uh,
Doug? Huh?
yeah, do you notice
I
the
hope you're
lights?
wearing your shorts in the bath.
I'm wearing my
Your swimming
shorts.
shorts.
I don't think so, my friend. You're lucky. I mean, I'd be surprised if I'm wearing shorts right now. Okay. Oh,
There's
what?
no, there's nothing more unsightly than, and I don't care how fit you are, how good your legs are,
Uh-huh.
how beautiful you are as a man. If you're wearing a t-shirt and no bottoms, it's a bad look.
Let me
I,
tell
like
you.
if I'm even if I'm home and I got my if I'm there and I'm like, okay, I'm conscious now that I want to. Anyway, I'd have my boxers on and my shirt off. Say Rachel's around, but I would never get caught with my shirt on and my boxers off.
Yeah.
Never.
Look, let me tell you
Gotta
about
be
a good friend of mine called Liam Coote, who, when we used to go out a lot, this was the look we were greeted to most mornings and evenings. When we come back from the party, he would take his kit off, but only his jeans. He would leave his either vest on with Y fronts and socks, or just the vest and socks. Those were our options, you know. And you're right. It's not a great look for anyone. No one comes off great out of that scenario, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
But I mean, like, without underpants.
Without, what do you mean without
That's
under?
about. I'm
What
saying,
shirt?
like,
Shirt, no underpants. Yeah, you look like a toddler. You just look like a kid, you know. Although I used to enjoy when I was feeling particularly crazy, I would go when I went to a bathroom. I would take my shorts all the way down to my ankles to have a wee at the urinal. You know how kids do it?
like a child, yeah.
Yeah, just for my own amusement, really. It-
That's very inconsiderate. I actually, I can't. I haven't told anyone this in public, but I can't wee in urinals. I get very self-conscious. Like, there's nothing
Is
wrong.
that
I
because
mean,
you need to
it's
sit down?
no, I just like to be in the stall. Like, I find it weird. You're in the urinal and someone comes right next to you, and even they put their shoulder against your shoulder. I can't wee then. If I haven't started and someone's right next to me, I'm like, oh, now someone's standing next to me,
Oh yeah,
and
stage fright.
they can hear that I haven't started weeing yet,
Yeah,
and I feel under pressure, and that's gone too long. Do I just like pretend that I had one and leave, and then come back later, or
well,
do I go? Oh,
here's a moral dilemma for you. I was at a rugby or football match, busting for a pee, got in there, long queue. I was like, oh my God. Finally got to the urinal, same thing. I was like, oh, now everyone's waiting and I couldn't go. And I was really angry. So I left. And I was like, fuck, do I have to re-queue? Do I wait until I'm ready to go again? How does this work? No one's ever told me the etiquette of this situation. Um,
yeah.
and I feel like girls are the opposite. Girls go into the cubicles together all the time,
Mm.
you know?
Yeah, but it's different. Yeah, but the cubicle is different. You're not. I think standing next to another man weeing is weird. It's
Um,
just a bit too much for me. Too intimate.
I saw a really cool meme, like a series of pictures, which was like 5 urinals. And
Mm.
the first page, like someone comes in and goes to the second urinal. Uh, then someone comes in and goes to the fourth urinal. And underneath it's just written checkmate. And the idea there. So yeah, I found that equally as hilarious too. Um, so my man, Kev, what can we expect from you then? How are you? We've discussed different ways we might have to deal with this. What direction you think you're going to go for making income? Do you think there's any utility to doing a yoga class like in public, like in a field?
Yeah, definitely. If the weather was better, you could just do it outside.
Mm.
Simple as that.
And just make sure
I
people have
think.
enough space. Oh, wait 1 second, mate. I've just lost you. So don't say
Yeah, I
anything.
think that. Well,
Now you're back. Go ahead. Tell me
okay.
something good.
I think that I've had a couple of requests to do private one-to-one on Skype, but I want to get things set up properly first. I mean, I shouldn't probably be overthinking this, but I think the privates is an area to explore. Also, doing streaming classes as well, maybe even just like one a week, even if I was doing public classes. Um, I mean, I'm not too panicked. The government are going to start giving us 200 quid a week, 200 euro
What?
a week. What?
How do I get my hands on that?
So in Ireland, they had a special. They have a COVID emergency payment, and I've already. I mean, everyone I know has filled out this form as well, where the government for the next 6 weeks they're going to give us 200 quid a week. I haven't got it yet, and I don't know what stage when I'll get it. They said there's going to be a delay as well because so many people have applied. But anyway, um, my mortgage is not that much. And I do think that in 3 months, everything will be back to normal if we do carry on doing what we're doing. But yeah, I think that I do plan to do a bit more, maybe, like I said, like a streaming class once a week. I'm going to look into doing some sort of platform. I know what you're saying about how you differentiate yourself between Yoga Glow or Glowna as they're called, and Aloe Moves or OmStars. And I don't know, but I'm going to definitely look into it. I mean, God knows. I don't know, mate. I really,
All right. Well,
yeah, that's kind of beyond me.
just quickly about that 200 quid. That's going to be a very interesting, almost trial run for UBI across the world. Then I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah,
So
exactly.
that's quite interesting. That's what I'm saying. It is allowing us certain opportunities we wouldn't normally try under normal circumstances. We're no longer under normal circumstances, so we can do extraordinary things. So I don't know if
Yes.
that's a positive from all of this.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. I mean, but I think we're in a good situation here in Ireland
Hmm.
because everyone has kind of followed suit and the reaction has been quite measured. So
Yeah.
yeah. What about you?
I'm just going to film a lot of content, look up different ways, brainstorm, and then I'm kind of enjoying the downtime. The thing that used to stop me from doing more activities at home was that I wanted to be more social. So I like training a lot a day. I like learning different skills. I like doing my editing. So this is
Hmm.
kind of like what I'm not allowed to meet up with anyone anyway. I'm like, okay, cool. That's all I needed. Now I started playing my guitar again. I'm reading a lot more than I was. Um,
Yeah.
so those things are great. I'm also playing PlayStation, which has also been quite
Okay.
fun. Yeah, I know. So all these things, it's just allowed me those things back to my handstand practice a lot more, which is great. You know, so yeah.
But it just shows you that you can't put all your eggs into one basket. I mean, I absolutely love doing the teacher training. That's my favorite thing to do, and retreats, teacher training retreats, things where you spend a whole weekend with people, immersive experiences. And I do plan to do a lot more of that, but it just goes to show you, and it has given us a bit of a kick up the backside to say that we should. I mean, it's going to kick up backside of many things, but we need to start integrating technology into our lives.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, I've heard some people say like, "Oh, this is terrible the way we're having to rely on technology and social media is bad and this and the other." And it's
mm,
like saying alcohol is bad. It's not bad. It depends why you're drinking.
hmm
Some people have a negative association with social media, but I don't think it's the technology. I think it's
well,
other underlying issues.
I would go further. I would say probably the utility of alcohol is far less than the utility of social media.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think there's even more benefits to social media. But you're totally right. I would say then, as you said that, it made me think when you're trying to decide between streaming and YouTube videos, there's more advantage to having something pre-recorded uh, that you can use it again and again. Your distribution is infinite, whereas
Yes,
streaming,
but if you
unless you save down your streaming.
Yeah, but you can this Ecamm software, and if you record through a DSLR, basically you can use. I have this thing coming. It should be coming today, actually. It's a little adapter that you can use DSLR camera as a webcam.
What?
So yes,
I want some
so
of this action.
you
You need to tell me
can
all about this.
stream. So you stream, yeah, you stream, and then you can use that video online. The only thing is with the audio is the trick. Like, how would you get
Yeah.
good quality audio? You need
Well,
to. What you
I was
could do,
thinking.
you need to
Go on.
have a remote that goes into a DSLR, and then a lapel, like a Rode Go mic, I think it's
But
called.
we're getting quite expensive, like with that thing. Is it not easier to get earpods, any Bluetooth headphones? I picked up a pair for 17 quid that then
Yeah.
is connected to your. Is the DSLR? Is that plugging into your laptop
Yes.
as a USB? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then you could then have your Bluetooth headphones in your ears,
Mm-hmm.
um, linked to your laptop, and that would be your audio input.
And then you may have to sync the audio and the video afterwards. Maybe
Yeah, probably.
you may have to. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you. Yeah, that's an option as well.
I mean, you
The only
just
thing is then in the stream. Yeah, you could do that, but the only thing is in the stream, it might not be synced. It might be a slight delay because you're getting the audio, the visual from the camera. Maybe. I've actually got
yeah,
some Bluetooth headphones coming as well next week. The ones that you plug in to
yeah,
your ears and then you put them in a case that charges them. I've got
yeah.
them
That's
coming too.
exactly what I've got, and I think that's going to make the streaming because that's the problem, right? When you're streaming, you want to be further enough away from the camera that you can see everything that you're doing, but the further you go away, the worse the audio gets, and especially as
Yeah.
yogis, we're moving around all the time, so
Mm.
it's most tricky. So I think that's the answer.
Yeah. I mean, to me, people are going to watch grainy video with great audio. They're not going to watch great video with grainy audio.
I can't
Like, you
agree.
have to have good audio. You have to, especially in yoga.
Holla at your boy. Holla
Because, yeah,
at your boy.
especially in yoga, because it's about how you make people feel, and sound is so important in terms of making people feel good. If you're doing a stream where you're 10 yards away from the camera, yes, they can see your whole body, but if you're shouting at them from
Yeah.
10 yards away, it's like, imagine doing a yoga class where the teacher is at the end of a corridor and they're giving you instructions. It wouldn't be very, okay, relax now in Shavasana. It's
That
like,
actually, that is a really tricky one when you lie down and you're trying to talk to people. Like that's what I had
yeah,
yesterday. I was like this. Look. All right, guys, it's good. And then relax your head. Don't do what I'm doing. All right, don't do what I'm
yeah.
doing.
What about the audio? I was thinking about doing recording some like audio classes, but I don't know. I imagine that's doing well for you. But I mean, there's going to be more business for that in this circumstance.
There is. We're busy talking about that. We can't really say too much because it hasn't launched yet, but I think so. We're talking about that at the moment, which should be interesting. But I'm not really at liberty to say too much about it. But it is going to be an interesting time for that. Quickly, we got a question from Eloise here, who's saying,
Oh, yeah.
"Do you have any tips for fitness instructors that have never done online content before?"
Me?
Yes, you,
Asking
Kevin Boyle.
it's for fitness
Oh, damn it! Don't make
instructors.
me do that question again.
Okay, okay. Tips for fitness instructors that have never done online content
Yeah,
before.
you see, you did hear it fine.
Okay, so the first thing is get a good mic. That's the priority. Prioritize your sound. Um, I would say that the more you try to do something, if you keep doing take after take after take, the more stale it's going to seem. So it doesn't matter if you're going to make a mistake, do it in your first go if you can. The other thing in terms of the marketing is that you got to create a story. So it can't just be all of a sudden you're doing online classes. You need to create a story behind that. So to let people know, oh, I'm going to buy my microphone now. Here's what I'm thinking of doing, guys, to do polls on Instagram. So people are led up to a point where you do your first online class. So therefore, they're with you for the whole process. You could even do little things like, oh, I have these two mics. Which one do you think's better, or something like that? So they're involved. It's like when I did my podcast, I had ideas for the names, and I asked people which name would you prefer, which logo looks better, and therefore they're there for the whole journey. So, in essence, really good sound. Don't worry if you make a mistake. Try to do it in as few takes as possible, and take people through the story.
I think that's really good advice. I think that's what we're finding now. For instance, just doing these live things, a little bit like you were saying, Kev, the idea that you just do a live video at the same time every day allows people then to catch up, because people take their time to get into something, right? You need to find your people, but you can only find your people if you're being consistent. Same with your
Yeah,
podcast. It comes out all the time. So in terms of making online content, I would agree with you on all those points. I would then go further and say, try be consistent, and don't just do it once and go all that didn't get any views. Keep putting stuff out there. It doesn't have to be every week. It doesn't have to be every day. It could be once a month, but try stick to a schedule, put stuff out. I'm really guilty of that because as life gets more busy, I don't. But when I have free time, I try put stuff consistently out there. I think your idea of bringing people on the journey is so good because it reminds people what you're doing. It gets them invested in the story that is your podcast or is your video, so people know what to expect. And you also, the purpose of the videos is to serve people, right? It's not for you to be on screen. It's to serve people and go like, okay, I'm trying to give people something they want. So listen to them as to what they want. I think doing polls
exactly.
on Instagram is great to go like, what kind of videos? I did one today. It seems most people say they want a workout. Kev, just say goodbye to all the viewers on Instagram over here because it's about to come off. Eloise, just in time to answer your question. And she says, thank you very much, Kevin. I really appreciate it. My Pilates clients have been keen for me to do one for some time. So,
Oh, yeah. Eloise, by the way, you do great content. Your Instagram pictures are really good, and
yeah, I agree. She's on top
good
of it.
outfits as well. Good
Oh,
color choice in your
yeah.
outfits.
She chooses a
Yes.
palette, I believe. All right, you got 10
Yeah.
seconds. Say goodbye to everyone there, and we'll cut this off on this
Is
side.
it timed? Is it
No,
timed? Okay.
on the Instagram.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, Kev. Yeah, man. Also, oh, we're sorry. I don't know if that's saved down. That's so upsetting. It just said, "We're sorry, we can't save that video." That is so
Because it's too long.
upsetting.
Because it's too long or something.
Maybe I didn't end it quick enough. But that's all
Hmm.
good, man. Listen, bud. I'm gonna eat some of that said lovely produce I have in the fridge before I go film some more stuff. We should do this
Yeah.
again. We should check in more often, man. Let's. If you're not doing much, maybe you check in with the new developments every week. I don't know, just spitballing here.
Okay, mate.
But it's been great to
Yeah.
have you finally on the podcast. Kevin Boyle, everyone, ladies and gents, check him out at the Yoga Life podcast, and also
Good.
Kevin Boyle. Is it just Kevin Boyle? Kevin Boyle Yoga. What's your Instagram?
Kevin Boyle Yoga.
Kevin Boyle Yoga. All right, guys.
That's it.
Thank you so much, Kev. Thanks for getting down with Doug. Any parting thoughts, musings, ideas?
Any parting thoughts? As Jerry Springer says, take care of yourself and each other.
Amazing. Amazing. All right, buddy. Take it easy. We'll speak soon.
See you,
Peace.
mate. Thank you. Bye.